So Aura is working with astrology and cryptocurrency, so looking at how we can use astrology to forecast what might happen in the markets. And her presentation is called Crypto's Treacherous Fourth Wave, Crucial Missing Information That Astrology Can Provide. Thanks, Aura.
Thank you. Thank you, Kurt. That was beautiful. Did you guys love that meditation? Yeah. Give me a round of applause for Kurt, because that was fantastic. Are you guys still awake? Can I get some energy? I'm going to ask you guys to interact a little bit, and that's for you, because studies have shown that the more you participate, the more you anchor the knowledge, and the more it stays with you. So I am going to talk about crypto. I am going to talk about astrology. So, but how many people here are a little freaked out by the crypto market because of what's happened this year? Just put your hand up if you're just a little freaked out because everything has gone down. Okay, just so you know, you're going to be fine. It's all going to work out. We've been through this before. Crypto's been there before. Anybody here who's like a OG, long-time crypto hodler, someone who's been in there since before 2016? Anybody here before that? Oh, good for you, Kurt. A couple, good. Right, so that's when I got in. So obviously the newer people are a little bit, anybody here who's really new, who's only been in for 2 years or less, raise your hand. Okay, good for you. Good for you guys, because you know what? Even if you're new, quote unquote, to crypto, you're still early. You're still really, really early. And crypto is going to be the thing that will make massive changes in people's lives. But we have to get through this fourth wave. The fifth wave, there will be a lot of money still to be made in the fourth wave. So I'm going to explain to you what the fourth wave is. But first, let me just introduce myself. My name is Aura. That's my real name, A-U-R-A. My parents were hippies. They met at Timothy Leary's ranch in Woodstock, not at the festival, and they conceived me there. So I am on LSD, by the way. So I am, in fact, a card-carrying hippie. Just ask me later. I'll show you my card. So I am truly the actual quintessential hippie kid. But, yeah, and that's a whole story. But I have basically always been in this kind of mystical side of my brain, all my life. I actually had to learn hard how to do the left brain logic thing. So when I brought that into my work with crypto, it really, really just was a perfect, synergy. Because the thing is, I started learning astrology when I was 9 years old, okay? I was fascinated by it. I learned how to calculate the movements and positions of all the planets when I was 9 years old. So I was doing trigonometry. So I had no idea that it was supposed to be hard. I never took it in high school. I was scared of it then. But at 9, I could figure it out because I wanted to know what to do with that information. So astrology is a very specific science. And in my opinion, it takes 20 years to be good at it. You can't just pick up a couple books and be good at astrology. And I've been practicing astrology for well over 30 years. So and there is a lot of sort of secret techniques and knowledge that is just not publicly available. So the thing is that astrology has helped me to find the cycles that are governing the crypto market. So we've all had some drama this year. And we've had some drama in the world in the last couple of years, right? Since 2020. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to realize that there had to have been some bad stars going on in 2020 for us to have had this worldwide pandemic, all of this. By the way, I did predict a pandemic in 2017. I wrote an article predicting it. And in 2019, I was telling people in my YouTube channel that in February of 2020, we would have a terrible, horrible worldwide event that would affect everyone on Earth. And that is exactly when the pandemic was all around the world. So it was a really big deal. So this was astrological. It was an astrology cycle. There's a lot of Pluto cycles. For any of you who understand what's going on with astrology, Pluto is big death and destruction of the financial system. So we've had 4 waves. The fourth wave really started at the end of 2019, like the second half of 2019. We're in it. We'll be in it for another year or two. There's huge profits still to be made in the fourth wave, but the fourth wave is the most treacherous wave. And the reason for that is because we have this bad stars, right? We have this astrology that's been really devastating. And like I said, you just don't even have to look at the sky to know that 2020, there was something going on. So this has affected crypto, although crypto went up. So how does that make sense? Well, it makes sense because the reason the fourth wave is so treacherous is because we have all of this massive amount of institutional money that came into crypto, tried to encircle it, and they're trying to essentially manipulate it, control it, scare people into the direction they want people to go, basically take your money. So it's treacherous, but it's also exceedingly profitable if you are aware of how to use this timing. So we've had these events that have just happened. We had Terra Luna collapse, we had Three Arrows Cap, 3AC, we had Celsius, we had FTX, SBF, WTF. I mean, it's been like alphabet soup from where. So we've had like this amazing amount of events that have happened in the last year that have, every single one of them has dropped the market. So I'm going to tell you that the market's not done dropping, okay? And when people tell you that it's dropped at the bottom, it's still going to go down a little further. So we have some more dropping to do. And there is sort of like a fake out before we get our bottom. So it's going to be like, oh, we've dropped, and that's the end. And then we'll get another drop. Because this is what I see when I look at the astrology cycles. And they give me time frames. And this is how I was able to call the COVID crash in June of 2020 by date. So, and I also get numbers. So I get like the psychic levels that the market's going to go to. So the thing with this fourth wave is that it's gone up and it's going down. And there's this whole big, large scale manipulation going on with all this big money that's going into these big companies, right? Like FTX was a hugely controlled growth of a big company. I personally don't even think half those accounts were real. The company itself was used to launder money into the Ukraine. The SBF, Sam Fried, whatever, he pumped tons of money into the Democratic Party so that he could basically buy regulation for crypto. So this crash is essentially scaring everybody in the market into demanding regulation. So that's what they want. And this has been all of 2022 has been about getting ready to bring out regulation in 2023. And they want to track, tag, and control everybody. So after what's just happened with, FTX and this big, and all the fear about centralized exchanges, which nobody should be on centralized exchanges in the first place, unless you absolutely have to go buy something and take it off. How many of you already know this? Most of you. Yeah, you guys are a pretty sophisticated crowd. So it's great to be talking to people who understand this. But the thing is, so you don't want your money in the centralized places. But what's happened is now the big winner out of this big collapse of FTX has been all the decentralized exchanges, right? The Trust Wallet, which is supposedly a decentralized wallet, which, by the way, is not the best wallet, okay? There's a lot of better wallets. But decentralized exchanges are supposedly your answer, your solution. But the problem here is if you go to Uniswap is tracking and tagging every single thing that's going in there. They're demanding KYC now. This is a decentralized exchange. They're not really decentralized, right? So it's not really the freedom thing, which is what cryptocurrency, the early people, the OG, crypto hodlers came in for. We came in to have freedom over our own financial system, to have our own banking in our own pocket, to not be controlled. So now they're pushing people essentially into those companies that they have pushed up in these last couple of years. And most of the companies that made really big gains, a lot of them were artificially pumped up. Like a lot of these NFTs and a lot of this stuff was essentially a giant manipulation. And it's really big. It's such a huge manipulation that it may be a little hard to see, right? Because it's so big, but it is that big. And because it's that big, we have to be really smart about where we go and what we do and how we do it. So the market does give us good times, right? It gives us good spikes, and we're going to go up. And the thing about this particular low, and that we are going to hit a bottom, we'll hit bottom really fast, and then we'll go back up again. but it's not going to last years like people are saying. How many of you guys realize that also on like YouTube and all these influencers that 98% of them are shills for the big companies? How many of you guys already know that? Okay, because they are. They're all being paid by the projects they promote, and that's just the game. That's the name of the game. So it's really hard to get good information, and that's one of the biggest challenges for people in crypto is how to get good information or to make good decisions. So when you have better information, you can make better decisions. So it's good to know when the market's hitting a peak. The thing with crypto and technical analysis, and we got a lot of wildlife here. You guys hear all the geese and everything. But the thing with technical analysis is technical analysis, is a tool that came out of traditional markets, okay? And it's good to understand. It's really good to know how technical analysis works. But technical analysis is like doing the Texas two-step, right? But crypto is doing a tango. It's doing a whole big few extra dance steps along the way. So crypto can have a couple of extra that we don't even see coming and we don't know what's happening. So this is why it has been a rather confusing and difficult market for a lot of people, because of these sort of extra steps. And in my opinion, I don't know a lot of people who are successful as day traders. So I really just think that day trading is not a great move for anybody unless you're like some kind of a whiz at it already. And I basically always say that day trading, it can't be taught. It can be learned. If you want to learn it and you have the natural aptitude, it's in your astrology chart, it's in your natural talents, you can learn it. You will go out and find what you need to learn it. But it can't be taught. Like you can't go to someone and say, teach me to do what you do, because they teach what they've figured out, which works for their own particular aptitudes. So you're not going to be able to get an easy understanding of the market that way. I think it's an easy way to make money in the market. It's much better to understand the swings of the market, in my opinion. I mean, it's been successful for me to do it this way. It's worked for my members. We know when the market's hitting a peak, we know when the bottoms are coming, and we save our money, buy in on the bottom, sell, take profits on the top, the things that are the hardest to do in the market, right? To sell when you don't want to, and to have money when things are at the bottom. That's the two hardest things that we ever do in crypto, is knowing when to hold our money until it's low enough to buy. You don't always have to catch everything at the bottom. That's a big mistake that people try and do. You don't always have to sell everything at the top. As long as you're taking good profits and buying back when things are low, you're going to do really well. But this fourth wave has some culminations that are going to happen. Okay, so a lot of what you're hearing is that this is, like with a lot of the influencers, is either that this is the end. Everything's coming to an end. The market's going to die. Crypto's going to die. The stock market's going to die. Everything's going down right now. And that's sort of only half true. So what's going to happen is we're going to have a big crash, and it's going to happen very, very soon in the next couple of months. And then it'll be over, and things are going to start to go up. And it's not going to last for years. We're not going to have a long, extended 2 years crypto winter like people are saying. Our world conditions are completely different. So oh, Sparky, stop it. So we're going to go up, and we're going to go up, and we're going to just have 3 big waves on our way up to the peak. And that's going to happen much faster than people expect. So that is really the bottom line. But the really, one of the key things to understand about the fourth wave is that because we've had bad astrology since 2020, and since late 2019 actually, you need to be really, really careful. Sparky, cut it out. Come here. He's telling you that you've got to be careful about all the projects that have come onto the market since late 2019. Anything whose birthday, so the date that something comes into this world indicates and describes what it's going to be, like how it's going to exist. So everything that has come into the market has these bad stars. Not that every project is bad through this time, but they are very, very dangerous. So be very, very careful. That should be the smallest percentage of your holdings, simply because the only ones that are good are the ones that are really and truly solving the problems that have come to light since 2020. And that's not necessarily the easiest thing to see right away, and it sometimes takes a little time for all of that to emerge. But decentralized things that are truly decentralized are obviously better. So that's where we are with the fourth wave, and that's essentially the key information for you guys, is that this is a really treacherous time and you want to be very careful about it. I'm doing a workshop at noon, which is about how to balance your portfolio based on the previous 3 waves that are much better, right? So that you keep, just basically to have a very strong portfolio where not everything, you're not putting everything, you're not throwing everything into a Bored Ape NFT or something like that. Hope y'all are smart enough not to have done that. So those NFTs are, I'm going to tell you, that whole category is going to be legendary for how much money people lose, okay? Because, and not that there won't be some good ones. I mean, you might want an NFT to hold the deed to your property. You might want an NFT to verify the authenticity of your Rembrandt, that sort of thing. But when it comes to, and if you're an artist, absolutely go sell NFTs. That's a great idea, right? You're going to make money selling NFTs, put your art on that blockchain. But as a speculative investment, it is absolutely 100% pure gambling. Okay, so you don't want to be gambling. You want to have a nice balanced stack of very solid projects that are going to be a combination of the like, I think of some of the really early projects as like strip malls that are going to be where all the new things are built, right? Like Ethereum has millions of projects built on it. So you want a solid group of those. You want some of the second, third wave coins, and then the fourth wave coins you want to keep to a smaller stack. So I'll go through these 3 waves, the 4 waves in the workshop, and talk to you guys about basically what's a good way to percentage balance your portfolio. I definitely am a big advocate of working your portfolio in percentages. That way you're never throwing everything at one thing. So you're being a lot more judicious, a lot more practical about what you're doing and the moves you make. So it's not about getting rich quick. It's about being really strategic and really smart about it. So I mean, I have one last thing for all of you. If anybody would like me to help you double, triple, maybe even quadruple your success in crypto, does that sound all right with you guys? Would that be okay if I helped you do that? So if you would like that, I have a link I can send you to. There's a little video. It's all for free. Just go to, it's tinyurl.com/cryptoprofit. And that's me, CRYPTO profit, PROPHET. So, and I will tell you that my members knew that we would come down to this market level since last May. And I've had well over 36 low targets for different coins since last May in my members area. So if you guys are interested in the membership and what I do with my members, go visit my website, which is www.mynameaura, AURA, Wright, WRIGHT.media. And you can find the membership there. There are a whole bunch of new features that I'm bringing to my members. I have a partner that has built out this amazing portfolio tracking platform. And so I'm going to move the whole membership over there. So you guys are going to have a whole visual way of looking at your portfolio and putting everything. You can track everything through this tracker. Everything from your collection of Nikes, your Pokemon cards, your Hummels, your cryptos, your stocks, your numismatic coins, everything. So we have this is going to be the membership is going to change, is what I'm saying, is I'm adding a bunch of new features that are going to be coming out in December and January. Plus, my partners are also building all these portfolio like charting tools into the platform. So you'll get my numbers and my forecasts and my predictions, and you also have all in one place, an amazing place for tracking everything and visualizing it, and then actually even executing trades. All of it decentralized, all of it in your hands. We could never touch any of what you put in there. So that is pretty much it. And I just want to thank you guys for your time and give yourselves a round of applause for being in crypto. Okay, good for you guys, because it's the future. And when we get to the 5th wave, it's going to literally go straight up. We'll have a moment where it's crypto, it's going to get another crash, another big crash before we enter the fifth wave. And that, after that, literally goes up and up and up, almost beyond all conceivable numbers. Like, people are going to be shocked at how high and how fast everything goes all at once. But that's a couple years away. So in the meantime, we're going to have some really big swing opportunities to make profits and to take money out and buy back in. So wish you all the best, and thank you guys for listening to me. Namaste. Thanks.
Step through the pool.